Hello, hello. Oh, I feel quiet. Hold on. Check 1 2. That's a little better. Let's give a little more boost. All right, there we go. Hello, hello. Welcome back to another 343 TV stream with Icarus Moth. Your boy Nathan. Good to be with you again. Looks like we got Mark in the chat. Well, this should be quite short. I can't tell if you're saying it's short because of the fact that I talk really fast or because of the song that I was playing earlier only having like 2 elements in it. I'm not breaking down that little nylon guitar song. That was just some intro music. And actually this whole genre breakdown category is a bit of a general term since we've been given free reign on what we do during this time. So today is going to be a little different than our normal genre breakdown. We're going to be doing like a beat the clock sort of thing. I don't know if you've ever seen one of the Justin's streams. Absolutely just stealing that idea right from him there. But it should be fun. And I've never actually really been able to do like a challenge with you guys. It's mostly just been educational approaches to things, which I'm going to keep doing. Don't worry about that. We're still going to do track breakdowns, still going to do sound design stuff, but it's also important that you guys get a chance to observe a process, right? So I think that's probably how we're going to tackle today. We got a couple of things going on at 343. Don't forget that we do have a physical location here in the city. We offer classes, got a lot starting up. So if you're local, or local to Berlin, we got one there too. Definitely reach out, check out our website. We also have a giveaway going on. Every week we do giveaways, I think. And this week's, it's a pro session. One of the free pro sessions. So I got this wrong last time because we have a lot of terminology here at 343. A pro session is our kind of like master classes that I'm pretty sure we all ticketed, slots for. So it's one of those of your choice. So you've got some stuff coming up that you could attend for free. That's very educational and fun. Meet some people. You love to see those things. Enigmatic Onion again. Hello, hello. Yo, what's up, Icarus? Everyone else? Breakcore genre breakdown sometime. Yeah, okay, so I'll definitely check out here. Actually, Onion, put some of your favorite breakcore artists in the chat, and I'll take a little note there. I'll go and listen to it. So I'm not gonna ramble for too long, I promise. I'm like the worst person at 343 to have done genre breakdown terminology, because there's a few genres that like by genre term I know like the back of my hand, but generally I'm like terrible with genres because I don't keep the millions and millions of genres out there in the music industry in my head. I keep down style choices for sure. So if we want to approach, a piece of music you send me, I can definitely break it down, but I don't necessarily know what you mean sometimes when you throw these genres at me. Breakcore. I assume it's breaks, right? Not necessarily like a floor on the floor beat, and then core. I don't know. What does it mean? Who knows? Short as in there's only 2 to break down. Yeah, no, for sure. So you got a nylon guitar, you strum some chords, and then for the drums, you just beat on the nylon guitar. All right. Thank you for joining me today. I'll see you next week. Now, all right. So let's jump in here a little bit. As I go forward, I'm going to be trying to kind of adapt my streams a little bit to be, more interactive, things like this. I'm still, building my new studio space. So this is all kind of like a work in progress. And so over time, maybe you guys can help me or give me some ideas for how I can, update this stuff. But for now, let me switch back to our Ableton mode. Let me see if I've got all the windows that I should have here, because I've been switching some stuff up. My key commands weren't working last time. Let's see if we can get it to work this time. So hopefully you see Ableton, you see me, and maybe at the top of the screen you see a little timer. I gotta wait for chat and YouTube to load here so I can make sure everything's going on. Looks like we've got Pavel. I think I actually probably said that right for the first time ever. Good to see you as always. What's up, Martin? Good to see you as always. 15-second stream delay. 30-second stream delay. You love to see it. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Does that mean it's not working? No, there we go. It switched over and you can see the timer, although my camera does keep cutting out. I promise I'll fix that eventually. I do. So cool. You see an hour at the top of the screen there. Hopefully, hopefully when I switch to this, it's going to be able to, actually show you guys that countdown. We're going to figure this out. I'm kind of learning along with you guys. We've got Simple Sam. Good to see you guys. We've got a good crowd today. Look at this. Venetian snares. Yeah, okay. I know what you mean. Now. I would maybe refer to that as IDM because I'm so like stuck in my old ways. So yeah, I'm definitely familiar with that genre. Maybe I'll show you guys a little bit of my old music at some point. This is a lot of stuff like that. Okay, so I got my timer up. I'm gonna do a little bit of like R&B slanted future bass stuff, so more of the like electronic R&B fashion. I don't know what's gonna come out today, but we're gonna try as much as we can to finish a song for the most part. So run through every little aspect of it. I am gonna give myself a stipulation though. Obviously we got an hour up on the clock, so that's how long I'm going to give myself to do this. But I'm only going to allow myself to use very, very minimal amounts of like samples or preset synth stuff. If I can avoid it at all, I won't use any of it. So we're going to see how much we can get through just with the tools that I have at my disposal. You might see me using some stuff that I've not used in Ableton on stream before. I'll do my best to explain what I'm doing, but this is this is meant to be kind of like a speed run. So we'll see how this goes. So, okay, open up my clock, hit start. It's going to count down, right? Nice. Okay. I'm just going to assume that that's going to transfer over to Ableton, and we'll get started. Hold on, let me take my bracelet off so I'm not loud. All right, so I like to start with drums, especially when I am doing like speed run stuff. It gives me like a good rhythm to give my song a foundation there. So I'm going to just start with samples that I don't necessarily plan on keeping. I just want to get something down on the board so I can start plotting out rhythms, things of this nature. Okay, I kind of like that for early stuff. I'm always going to grab more than one sound just to make sure I have like a variety of things to mess with. Okay, so 3 is fine here. You're gonna catch me separating certain sounds from tracks. So I have a drum rack for my kick drums. I'm not gonna use a drum rack for my snare drums. While I'm here, I might as well copy another one down. I don't need my sidechain trigger in these ones, so I'll just keep that in one drum rack. Again, so the sounds that I'm picking here are not necessarily what I'm gonna rock with throughout the track. However, I do need something that's going to help get some juices going, get some ideas flowing. And so I'm just going to grab a couple of sounds, maybe make quick edits to them, like cutting the reverb out of this crazy rim shot thing from Benjamin. Not enough. Wow, chat's running and I'm like doing a speed run here. Okay, you guys are conversing with yourselves. It's okay. Oh, I like that sound. Grab that. Especially when it comes to like trying to go quick, you want to grab more than you need maybe, so you don't have to come back looking for stuff that you maybe should have grabbed earlier. So I also don't want to waste too much time picking individual drum sounds. So if we have time towards the end, I'll run back through here and see if there's a certain sample we really want to get rid of and try something else. But otherwise, we're just going to probably rock with these so we can get as much done as we can, right? Yeah, so the timer's working. You love to see it. Hey Max, we got Max in the chat. How's it going? Max, I've stolen Justin's idea. I'm doing a beat the clock. Looks like we got Danica Becker. Hello, hello. All right. Uh-oh. My mouse isn't working super great. That's not a good sign. Not when I'm doing a speed run. All right, getting some hi-hats in here. I think that's probably enough. I don't know if I have an open hi-hat. So I'll just type in the word open. These are my favorite samples categories, and like I don't have much in here. It doesn't sound like I really spent much time doing this. I definitely recommend you guys go through and organize your varying sizes of sample packs, because it does make doing something like this, or if you're working with somebody else in the studio, helps you move a lot faster. So honestly, at this point, I'm not even gonna really click. I'm gonna click and listen to this stuff later when we're designing rhythms and things. However, for now, I'm just gonna grab a variety of percussion sounds from my percussion folder, and we'll see what we can do with them. So what's cool about the genre I've chosen here is there's a lot of room for experimental stuff. So the fact that I'm not necessarily keeping everything I'm grabbing here to a specific genre, it's okay. Nothing wrong with that. All right, this is probably enough. I don't need to overwhelm myself. It's all about the drums. Everyone says hello, hello, hello. Yeah, we got Dane at the school now. I was wondering if you guys had known about that. It was exciting to hear for sure. Yeah, cool. Finally bringing some of the trap flavor. Although I think doing a little bit of house music these days, right? All right. So let's plot some drum rhythms here. Stuff that's going to change. So I'm going to definitely be doing a little bit more pared down, you know, simple rhythms here, so I can have some sort of launching point. And 100 beats per minute is fine. I don't hate that. I actually have no idea what I'm feeling here, so we could go and change this later, or we could adjust this. Maybe we'll go a little slower. We'll do 97 beats per minute. And like I said, I'm really just trying to find the drums I like the balance of. I'm going to use this Merry kick for higher frequencies, not for lower frequencies. So we'll engage the high pass filter here and just let that be kind of stuff above around 200 or so. House is dead. Oh, okay, kidding. Yeah, I was kidding. You almost got me there. So maybe we could do something cool here where I don't put the snare on the 2 and the 3, like every song we hear ever. I think he has a good footprint. You can add 10 seconds of time, whatever he wants. Oh yeah, no, I'm cheating. So yeah, like I said, I think I want to try something cool where we don't put the snare on the 2 and the 4 or just the 3, like you see it a lot. So maybe we'll try and do this sort of like late snare where it comes on the upbeat of the 4. We'll see how this works. I like how that kind of puts the beat away from kind of like the metronome here, right? So that's part of where we're trying to head this time right now. Right, see, I don't need to put a kick drum on the 1 for this beat to still feel natural. So I really do like this. House is a feeling. So we get the counselor again. I love to see all these familiar faces. Like I feel like we're building a family here. Neither can disco about another while. And we'll do the double kick again. I don't mind that. So actually before I copy that over, let's do a slight velocity adjustments here, just so that we've got something a little bit more fresh going. So we'll add another kick drum here. I did grab a few. Oh, it's too intense. So either we could put a low pass filter on that, just pull it back, or just pull the velocity way down to help that be more of like a ghost note. It's not the greatest. Did I shift that? Yeah, I syncopated it a little bit. I like that, especially for more natural genres for sure. All right, so let's find a nice layer for some of these snare sounds. Don't forget to turn on your little headphone symbol. I don't hate the clap on this. This one does feel like it wants to land on the downbeat again. Maybe we could just get away with using one of these, but I'm gonna try and keep it around for now and see if maybe we can use our instruments to make that feel more natural. So I do want some backbeat stuff. Not this one. Okay, so we need to do a similar thing with that sound. It's got way too much reverb. I much prefer to be able to decide how much reverb goes on a sound myself instead of having one sample that's like stuck being just drenched in reverb. When the pre-delay is long enough, you can usually cut the reverb out no problem. So it seems like we were able to do that. Okay, the low one, same sort of problem. I didn't even adjust the sample at all. There we go. All right, I know it sounds a little bit weird now, but I think we can get away with this sort of backbeat. I need to probably lower the velocities of these guys a bit. Maybe we'll let this one land on the actual 4 just because this is sort of turning our phrase around, right? It kind of like lands at the beginning after this. 2, 3 verb. Yeah. All right. So again, we're doing this quickly, and so we'll go in and change these a little bit later. And I'm also going to pare these down, right? So this definitely feels kind of like main like verse section drums to me. So I'll cut this apart for the intro, and then I'll also maybe add more to it for the main section here. Sorry, how did you remove the excess reverb? So I'm going into the simpler that drum rack uses to hold on to your sound. So there's a couple ways you can do it. the default's one-shot mode, which means you can move this end flag up and then just increase the fade out amount down here at the bottom, and that's just going to cause the reverb to kind of fade out like that. Or you can switch to classic mode, which pulls open an envelope down here attached to the amplitude with our attack, decay, sustain, and release. I can turn the sustain all the way down and then really set the length of this sample with our decay here. So something under a second is usually going to capture the full amount of our percussion sound without any of the verb there. So that's how I yeeted the reverb. All right, so I grabbed a ton of percussion sounds. Probably just need to go and kind of hear some of this stuff. I also have my hi-hats at the top. I put those at the top intentionally because I know I'm going to be using those. So I talked about the similarities between like festival trap and future bass music. So I'm going to definitely add some of those elements here with like my hi-hat trills, things like this. Oops. And I'm trying to kind of create almost, the word melodies is wrong. Like I don't want to create melodies with my rhythms. I'm trying to create a rhythm that has its own kind of level of catchiness to it, right? Something where even without any tonal elements, no notes, no chords, there's something that can kind of get stuck in your head. And I like thinking about my hi-hat pattern is following something like how a vocal will follow a rhythm. It will kind of take a rhythmic chunk, repeat it a few times, then add variation to it on the turnaround. So then we can maybe start to add some more later on. Save. I don't have time to save this. Get out of here. Nice. So I do actually like that a little bit. We'll just let that ride for now. If I wanted to, maybe we could put a little guy on the upbeat to really help emphasize that. Although we do have that snare already pretty much handling that. I don't like that. We're getting rid of it. Oh, and then the open hi-hat. If we want this to function more like an open hi-hat, we kind of need to make the length of this note matter in MIDI. And so what we're going to do here is switch to classic mode. There's a couple ways to do this, but we're going to switch to classic mode, sustain off, decay all the way up, and release pretty much all the way down. We don't want it to be somewhere around 20 milliseconds. We'll avoid a click. And what this means now is the length of my MIDI note determines how long the sample plays for. So I can use this much more like a regular open hi-hat. Like if I were to place this here, it will stop at the very end as if this closed hi-hat was kind of cutting it off like you'd expect it to. Right? I like how that goes on the snare. I think we'll do it in both places. Cool. Now we have a bunch of this percussion stuff. And before I get into that, I think I want to start thinking arrangement already right away, because again, we're doing this under a time constraint. By the way, I can't see my clock right now, so I'm kind of referring to chat and just knowing I'm a little bit ahead of that. All right, so duplicate this out a few times. I'm going to delete our, actually, I'm going to delete our main snares and replace our main snares with our little backbeat ones. Didn't need to do that. And this is going to function as our intro. It's going to help kind of highlight what I'm trying to do with my main rhythms here. Oops. And then similarly, we're definitely not going to use all these hi-hats like this. I do like the open one. Maybe we'll keep that if we can. So maybe we'll just do more basic eighth notes throughout this pattern. Something like this. Thank God for Command D for duplicate, right? Looks like Simple Sam's going to get some food. I'm jealous. Cool. And now we can also pare down our kick drum a little bit. Maybe I get rid of my texture layer. While I'm here, I kind of want to just low pass this kick drum. It's a little fuzzy. All these samples, here's a little note. This okay, Michael, you don't have to hold it down for me like that. I appreciate it though. The kick drums in these sample packs oftentimes are just like so saturated and overcompressed, like we almost have a little bit of clipping going on. We do have a little bit of clipping going on, just predetermined in the sample. It's not great. We can fix some of those things with filters, although you're going to lose frequencies from the drum sound itself. So it's not necessarily the greatest, but you know, we do what we can. Sorry for my clipping. I'm going to avoid that at all costs. Cool, let's find a different hi-hat. This thing's too intense. Much better. So I just shortened this so that it matched the dynamics of my other closed hi-hat. I didn't want it to be too much. I should have like very quietly in the background of the Jeopardy, Final Jeopardy music playing. Oh, we should remix that song one day. Well, I'll do that. I'll remix the Final Jeopardy song on a clock. We'll give ourselves 15 minutes to remix it. I'll do that one another day. Okay, so here we go. We got some intro drums. Nice and like little soft stuff to help us introduce our song. And then they pick up. We get more hi-hat stuff going on. And also this snare drum, it's like really trappy. I don't know how I feel about it. I think if maybe we shorten it, it'll feel more like, where'd it go? There we go. It'll feel more like the rim shot. Oh, it's already shortened. It'll feel more like the rim shot it wants to be instead of this like cymatics Jack U style snare thing. It's a little better. We'll see if we can get away with it. It's just like really heavy. So these are good. And then we'll do one more round. Again, we can always come back to this, but I'm trying to move quickly here where we add some of these cool, just random percussion sounds that I got. Because we have a lot of them and we want to add some spice to these drums for later on in the song. So that feels much more like a big clap now, which is great. I like how I'm changing the drums around. It's kind of cool in like a jazzy sort of way. I don't know if we're gonna be able to get away with that one, but we'll try it. I'm just gonna copy my drum MIDI here and place it onto that note, which I currently have lost. Okay, it's up. So like those jazz drums are oftentimes very tonal and a lot higher pitched than other genres of music. So I like how that's kind of blending with our drum sounds here. And honestly, like how can I hear a cowbell and not add a cowbell, right? Like I promise I'm gonna make this a little bit less annoying. Oh, we even have the second pitch. Come on. It's over. I know this is not gonna sound future bass or or R&B right now, but I promise it will in a moment. Oh, what am I doing here? Okay, that's weird with our turnaround. I need to fix that. I do really need to fix that. So this is cool because anything that wants to land right on the 4, we get to delay an eighth note, right? That's kind of how we're treating that. If we're landing something on the 4, we push it over. Right? And then that makes more sense. However, the last time around, I think we just let it rock. Cool. I'm going to syncopate these, so I'm just going to highlight everything, shift it off the beat a little bit so that it hits kind of off, but it's not so far that it feels like two different rhythms. Just gives it a little bit more, natural flavor. However, it's not like, I'm going to spend all this time to go through this. I like the shaker on the upbeat till the very end. We'll layer our stuff with claps so that we can do, whoops, what am I doing? So that we can do like double hits, things like this. Wow, shouldn't have grabbed the cymatic sounds. No offense, cymatics. Okay, we'll leave that. Let's see, do we want to layer? Yep, we'll layer our bigger snare in here. And honestly, that means we can get rid of this thing because it's just, we got a lot going on here. And at this point, we can probably switch to our bouncier kick drum. Cool. So we've got intro drums. We got like verse drums. We'll see about it. I don't still know how I feel about that snare. And then chorus drums. This is not. We'll maybe delete that cowbell, but for now I'm really enjoying it. So we're gonna let it ride. So there we go. Now we need to come up with some actual like sounds and things. That took me about a third of our time. And so, you know, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Gonna move some stuff around. I think I'm gonna start with chords. That's kind of how my brain thinks. So I'm gonna just let this rock. And I don't know if you guys can hear when I play this piano. That's definitely something I need to fix if you can't. However, I could treat that for MIDI if I think that's gonna be faster, but honestly, for now, I don't. So we're gonna throw an operator in here. And I said I didn't really want to let myself use presets, even though that would help me move faster. So instead, we're going to build a quick little soft synth. And I want this thing to be like really round without having like a lot of frequencies in it. So we're going to create what essentially is a triangle wave by adding some harmonics to our oscillators here, just like that. So I have at least the first 5 harmonics kind of accounted for. I'm not even going to use this as an FM synth. I'm going to have these all just running oscillators out to the output, which gives us a pretty basic sine wave. However, if I detune the fine tuning, start playing some synths. Hello? Oh, of course, the defaulted envelopes. I'm so used to the old defaults for Ableton. They go and change things like this. It's a little bit, a little naughty. All right, so I pitched that way away. That's why it doesn't sound like that. But you can hear when we get to a certain frequency, we get this like wobbling going. The higher the note I play, the faster the vibrato essentially, or the tremolo will be. The lower the note, the slower. But when I play multiple notes, we get this sort of like nice pulsing effect. And since this is basically still a sine wave with some slight adjustments to it, it's very soft. I'm gonna use the spread feature here, which is just gonna add even more to this. And we need to turn this down because when we're running a lot of like very similar frequencies through something like this, it's pretty easy to get distorted tones that we don't really want. And while I'm here, I'm gonna layer every kick drum I have with a sidechain trigger. This is built into my default Ableton. If you don't have things like sidechains built into your default Ableton, I recommend spending some time to do that, because anything that you find yourself doing every single time you produce a piece of music is a good candidate for a default, right? Me not having to go through and create a click and hook up my sidechain every time is great. So we're gonna kind of leave that there. Let's come up with some chords. I'm feeling like not like sad, but I want to write in a, I'm not feeling happy, but I want to write in a major key. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. And so instead of just slapping down a major chord, whoops, we're going to make this a major 7, and that's going to add this minor harmony rocking at the top there, which is going to cause my major chord to feel a little bit more like somber. I'm also going to layer this with lower frequencies. I'm thinking as if, okay, I'm sitting at my piano and I'm playing it like octaves maybe in the left hand, chords in the right hand. And I want to think about this cool rhythm that we've set up, right? I don't want to bail on the rhythm that we decided to rock with here. So we'll have a bit of a pause here. We'll have a chord change on this kick drum. And maybe at this point we just go to the 4th. So we want this note to be at the bottom. A couple of choices we have here. I could just make that chord. We could invert this and maybe pick a different bass note. It's a little bit too jazzy, especially at that frequency. It's not really cutting it there. I still don't like it with the adjusted bass note. So instead, what we're gonna do is figure out what chord that would have been otherwise. And you can see we've got a major 3rd here, so I'll just add a minor 3rd underneath it, and that gives us a G minor. Not satisfied with that one, so we'll go one more step down, which gives us an E flat major. There we go. Now that's what I was hearing in my head, right? So you can see how we can maybe suss that out a little bit. Don't forget to add rhythm. And then I want to focus on the bass line here for the little turnaround. No bailing on the cowbells. All right, I'll make a promise. I won't get rid of them. Right, so you can kind of hear how that works. I'm gonna let this chord just hold out over top all that, which means we probably want to go back into our synth and maybe adjust some of our envelopes here a little bit. I want this to feel maybe a little bit more like an electric piano or a piano. Let's spice this up a little bit. Gonna add some reverb. Look at me using all the Ableton tools that I barely ever use. And a little bit of, I guess we'll throw an EQ on there, can help. Glue compressor. Whoa, no, I hit a thing. Never happened. My quick commands, it's like, what is the best button for the quick commands in OBS? Because like, I have to use all the buttons on my computer when I'm using Ableton, like, come on. All right, so glue compressor goes before the sidechain. I want to add like a little bit of a click to this sound. So that helps the little individual bass notes definitely have a little bit of flavor. Now I want to layer this with a bass. Now there's a bass guitar sitting right here. It is genuinely going to take me more time to put that together than it is for me to use just a bass modeled sound. So I'm gonna jump on over to Contact, everyone's favorite neighborhood acoustic modeled sound thing. Get a Steam Deck. What are you talking about? Video games over here. Wait, can I do something with music production in my Steam Deck? Anyway. So over here we have a Scarby Rickenbacker bass. This thing sounds fantastic. It's one of my favorite of the Contact sounds. Very well done. I'm just gonna not adjust any of the sounds. And we have the MIDI already. Just paste our chords down here. Delete the notes we don't need. Make sure we're in the right frequency. Still too low, which is fine. We can adjust the relative positions of these, right? So I could let this be low. Actually, I'm gonna let these ones be low. Melody's a little weird with the chord, it's all right. So we also want to think about how a bass guitar is played, so maybe we could add a couple of adjustments here. Come on, let me make it bigger. Yeah. These need to just be legato. I'm just gonna let that repeat. Maybe we'll add a little variation if we can. This is fine. This is how we're gonna start. I don't want to forget to copy my compressor onto this. And I'm also going to you guys even talking about, man? What's going on in my chat right now? I'm gonna add a chorus effect to this this pad. Got me all turned around. I'm thinking about like Steam and stuff. All right, there we go. That's a nice soft chorus effect for this thing. It's gonna help this feel a lot more like an intro. This bass guitar has got way too much high end in it. That's kind of like why I wanted it in the first place, but I am changing my mind. I'm also going to shelf off some of the low end, oh dear, in this pad synth to make room for our little bass here. And now I need something that actually feels a little bit more like the genre we're messing with, right? So I'm gonna let this instrument become something else. So we're gonna duplicate the instrument. We're going to go back into the MIDI and we're going to make some adjustments here. And really my main adjustment is just gonna be to highlight and hit the legato button and then fix my chord that didn't function properly. And what I'm gonna do here is go into operator and make a bit of like a stab synth that rides every eighth note, right? So what we wanna do here is switch this back to some mode where I can use my actual FM functionality. And right away, got some nice stuff going here. Actually, no, that's gonna be a good layer. I'm just gonna duplicate this synth and then keep rocking with what I was gonna do. Once you stumble across something like that, just keep it. There, we can hear how that sounds. It's lovely. I do want a little bit more frequencies in this, so I'm going to throw in a saw wave on the top bit of this being processed by, we'll do a little bit of a sine wave. And we'll do a similar envelope here. Don't forget about our filter and our tone knob, right? These defaults means we're cutting out some of the high frequencies that would otherwise be in the sound. Just Google it after the stream. I mean, I know what the Steam Deck is. I'm just wondering why you guys are talking about it. Oh, I can choose. Wait a second. Are you not talking about the Steam Deck? It's the stream. I'm an idiot. I see you guys like R, capital R. Dude, you're an idiot. Capital R. All right, thank you. Look, man, I'm multitasking, okay? We're all in this together. What is a Stream Deck? Man, there's so much to learn about streaming. You guys want to buy me one? All right, so now we need to make this oscillate, or I'm sorry, we need these envelopes to repeat every eighth note, and so we're gonna go and turn our loop in here. We could have done it with the filter as well and just have these sustains stay up, but I kind of like the variable decay envelopes here on all these different oscillators. So we're gonna go into sync, we're gonna go to eighth note. I said we're gonna go to eighth note, and then we're going to do the same thing on all of these, unfortunately. We don't have to do it on the very top oscillator because that's not doing much. Oh my lord, I'll use my arrow keys because it's not doing much, but oops, not beat. Sync. Right? So that's what we were looking for. I want to make this a little bigger, and while I'm here, man, I should probably plug in the left ear. Oh man, ooh, stereo audio. You love it. Okay, cool. So while we're here, maybe we make little adjustments here. You can hear where this is going. I definitely want to automate the decay time of this sound here over time so that it becomes bigger. And we'll let this, in fact, here, we'll do it like this. We'll let this be a big kind of build section before whatever our main section ends up becoming. So we'll let this automation just hold. And we will cut away from our synced loop here, right? So from here, just to save time, instead of doing a bunch of automations, I'm going to delete and delete. And we're just going to deactivate our loops. And this glue compressor we added from the other sound, unnecessary here. So let's add some frequencies to this. I don't mind this because we need some sort of melody involved. oh, so my voicing options on my operator, I believe, are being maxed out. Am I going to be okay here, or is this going to kind of screw me a little bit? Oh, I can max it out at 20, no problem. So I just have too many notes being played at the same time based on what that default was. I'm probably going to need to go and change the other instances of operator as well, just to make sure that that's not going to happen. Sometimes that's actually like a cool accident to make when like you're doing MIDI and there's too many notes on top of each other. It starts cutting notes out. It actually kind of sounds cool sometimes, but it's not how we all want to use this time. Okay. And we're going to get rid of our goofy little bass line here. All right, so I was just kind of hearing random notes. Following a very common motif, right? Da-na-na-na-na, and then the repeat is da-na-na. So I just kind of skip some of those notes. Second time around, it just gets there faster. And then gives me a little bit of room at the end to add some more to it. Right, so that's gonna help this kind of be big and full, open up a bit. And I do kind of want to hint at said melody before this moment, because right now we just have chords, and I oftentimes write like this because I'm expecting a vocal to be added here, right? Most of the music I work with is vocal centric, and so I let chord progressions kind of rock without melodies just because there's going to be an instrument filling that space here. Today, that's not going to be the case, so we probably are going to just slide this into our MIDI up here. So I also want a low pass filter, causing this more harmonics version of our pad to, over time, pick up. We could even maybe think about switching these drums out here, and then think right back. Hold on. Okay, I like that, but we're getting rid of this snare that I never liked in the first place. And honestly, like, the little rim shot sounds great, so we'll just keep it around. Ooh, that's why. This is the problem. I see myself redlining our master output, so let's just pull this down. Sounds like a song from Sonic on Sega Genesis. I find myself writing video game music just on accident all the time. Just, I think naturally the piano I play is kind of like in that vein. I mean, I was heavily inspired by the like early Nintendo compositions, be it like, you know, Legend of Zelda, Mario, etc., etc. Okay, going back and forth here, like murdering the volume on my snare drum. What happened to you? There we go. It's fine. And then we get this kind of like a bigger open space. So we do need to layer this with more sounds, certainly, which we will get to. However, I want to create a couple of transition effects. Super easy to do. It's like one of my favorite things to do during production, just because you never know what's going to end up coming out. And the way that I do this is essentially by going into my percussion drum rack. I duplicated it, mind you, and I'm just going to throw a random sound on a series of 4 measure clips. We're going to drench these in reverb. Drench this in reverb entirely. And we're going to freeze and flatten. It's pretty simple. 6 seconds something. It's okay if these overlap a little bit, not a big deal. So freeze and flatten is going to give us a bunch of impacts, right? Essentially is how that works. Now I could have maybe pulled my dry wet down a bit, but it's fine. Like, these genuinely sound like the ones you would pull out of a sample pack somewhere. Totally random, right? So good stuff for us to play with. Let's start dotting these around so that we at least get some motion. Ooh. So don't forget to maybe reverse some of these as well. But look at this end. This is not going to cut right. See? So either warp it and shift it over or make the cut in audio. I really don't know how I messed up the volume on my snare so bad. There we go. I'm gonna get a little reverse of this guy as well. And then I do kind of want to put more reverb on these sounds, right? So that they don't just immediately cut, but this time dry wet's gonna go way low. Right, cool. So if I didn't accidentally delete them, this is our cowbell drums, right? And so before we start going in and fixing the beginning, I want to keep moving forward, right? Because I'm not going to feel very comfortable about how much I accomplished here in my hour if I don't at least get another song part down. And right away in my brain, especially with the cowbell going on, I'm hearing like a bit of a different chord progression with, you know, a lot of like kind of fun stuff going on with the bass to complement the rhythmic variety of that cowbell. And so right now our progression is essentially F, B flat, E flat. So 1, 4, 7. Which is like not that uncommon for kind of like more funk genres. But what we could do here is change up our rhythm. Right? And instead of hitting this same sort of progression, maybe we could come up with, you know, different places to go. So maybe we go up to the 2 instead. And then instead of going up, we'll go down. So just kind of reverse the order. Right? And then, you know, I still like the little octave shift thing. We'll keep it around for now. Series of bad clicks, not making me land on the right note. Okay. And we'll maybe add some variation towards the end of this, but it's okay. If you love game music and studying theory, it's brilliant. Yeah, honestly, like some of the greatest pieces ever composed certainly are for video games. That's a tough one to question or argue against. All right, cool. So now we're looking to come up with some new chords here. And I'm going to jump into this instrument because I think it fits the vibe of this part of the song quite well. And similarly to what we did last time, except now the other way around, I'm going to copy my bass line into this instrument. All right, so now we can start thinking about what these chords are going to be. And we kind of know what the first one is because it's the same as the first chord in our track. I don't necessarily like that F sharp in there. I mean, think about this. We are in the key of F, right? So let's maybe think about making this either a minor, which sounds a lot better, or just making it a more simple harmony, right? We don't need to make everything in our song a seventh. Sounds a lot better. And now this is a chord we've used in the past. Maybe we keep that top note the same, so melodically our trajectory is downward and our bass line trajectory is upward, having this kind of like converge going on. And honestly, this is just a little melodic bass thing. We don't need to come up with a new chord for that one. And I really like this because it hits this D note at the very top, like over and over and over and over again. So to me, that feels nice and melodic there. Great. So this is pretty much what this sound's going to be doing. I don't want to, well, I guess we got it in the bass line, so I can kill that. Is that a cowbell pattern like George Lopez? Because like it's almost impossible for me to not think of that when I play back, or Lowrider, right? It's not George Lopez. But... Whoa, crackles? All right, we're good. I think that was an OBS thing. All right, so let's hear how this kind of moment before transitions into kind of what we've composed for the kind of chorus. I guess I'll call it a chorus. Cool. So I like how that stays close to home, but it doesn't feel like the same thing over and over again. And we do have an opportunity for some new chords too, for sure. We don't necessarily need to completely stick to what we have here. We can think about some different options. We can think about landing on the sixths instead and making this feel a lot more minor. I mean, let's try it. There's no reason necessarily not to. So what does that give me? It's a... Oh, wait a second. I'm not even following the key properly. Whatever. It's fine. It's all fine. I guess we'll try it. I gotta ignore the fact that the bass line down here is not gonna be playing this correct note for a moment. It's kind of interesting because we could kind of force it to work in a more melodic fashion. I don't know though. I don't think I'm gonna stick to it. It also just feels like I've made this chord more complicated for no reason. It's cool. But how does it translate back to our first chord, right? I mean, I don't hate it. Let's just try it. Let's try it. I'm just gonna delete this stuff, let this rock 3 times, see how this kind of resolves back into itself. We do want to make our bass note now another F. God, that is a very strange decision I made here with this last chord. What happened with the timer? Yo, what happened with the timer? Oh, what happened with me? Can't even see me either. It'll come back. I don't know. Yeah, worried is back. It's because my key commands. I was telling you. All right, so I like it. We're keeping it. I'm speedrunning. I don't care. So let's make this bass note a F again. I got like 11 minutes. All right, it's weird, but I like it. We're keeping it because I don't care. You can't stop me. So my bass notes can go lower, just fill this sound out, oops, with more harmonics. Excuse me. Nothing to redo, Ableton. And this synth and the one above it are very similar. I don't know if it's such a great idea to overlap them like we have been doing. Actually, it's okay. I was worried that we might get a little bit of phasing going, but we seem to be fine. Maybe I just need a different bass note for that last chord, because like realistically, yeah, I don't know. It's an F in the bass, but like it's like a F minor chord. It's just weird. So let's put the B flat in the bass, see how we like it. We're going to try. I actually like that better. It feels a little bit more like the era that this music is inspired from. So let's fix our little walk down. It is weird. Whatever. We're keeping it because I like it. It adds a little bit of flavor to it. It helps it feel a little bit less Sonic the Hedgehog and maybe a little bit more like variety TV show from the 90s type of deal. And guess what? We're turning up our cowbells. Like, of course we are. Listen to those things. They're like the star of the show. Let's see what happens with an inverted melody. So we're going to take the melody we composed for the original chord progression, and we're just going to invert it. We're going to see, or not invert it, excuse me, reverse it, see how we do. So often what you're going to notice when you do things like this is you'll catch one little thing you like, and that's what you kind of base this around. So I do like this turnaround that it did at the bottom. I missed that last note. Danica says, usually a lurker. Well, I'm glad that we've created an environment that makes you comfortable to join us and interact. I love to see a happy community. So I'm just gonna let this kind of rock on this synth to highlight the layer, but we do need a new sound for this moment. Looks like I got like 5 minutes, like I'm not, not doing super hot. It's okay. So let's start from scratch this time, and we'll do something a little different. We'll make something that's kind of like a rolling pluck sound. See if we can get something cool out of that. So I'm just gonna start with it. We're gonna make a very short envelope here, and we're gonna loop it. on the correct oscillator. So you can see how this kind of works. Right? Which means if I play multiple notes in succession, we can get some stuff like that. But I'm going to do this to a few things. Oh, I need to switch my routing here. So we'll do one more. Making sure that the loop times are different from each other. And this one kind of functions as our pad. I'm going to spread these. This is giving us a very interesting sort of like poppy, like pad sort of deal. Kind of similar thing you could achieve with a arpeggiator, but it's a little bit more randomized. If we add a delay here, we get some really cool stuff. But in fact, I'm going to add a crystallizer because one, we gave one away the other day, so it's cool. And two, I can adjust the pitch of what comes out of this. So I can maybe go up an octave or down an octave with each successive delay if I want to. So I believe with one of the new Ableton audio effects from 11, you can do this now like more easily. It's maybe like spectral time is one of those. You could do something kind of similar to what the crystallizer is doing. I don't think the normal delay, I mean grain delay you can also do that with, sort of. I don't think the normal delay lets you adjust the pitch or something. Look at me, I'm a teacher, I promise. Nah. So you can do pitch mode, which causes it to, you know, adjust the pitch when you're changing the delay over time, but I don't know. So our crystallizer works, we have a slice amount, essentially how much of the sound it's kind of taking, and then delay is how long it takes to actually play it back. I'm gonna lower this down to nothing. So it just starts right away, it's just part of the sound. I'm in reverse mode too, which is intentional, because listen to what happens when I switch it to forward. It's cool too, it's just more of the same. I like the reverses, because it causes it to be a little bit more pad-like. So we'll see if this kind of holds down our melody here. Let's try to octave higher. Don't want to forget our compressors for side chaining, and you know, it's not the greatest use of the synth. I think the synth would do a lot better in more EDM style genres, but it's okay. And to help it feel a little bit more natural here, we'll put a chorus effect on it too. Sounds like a flume patch. Oh right, our weird chord. So let's find a better note for this. And then we'll pull back to a series of, our original instruments. Except for this one. All right, cool. I would like to add more audio effects to these. Unfortunately, I think I'm pretty much running out of time here. So increase a little saturation on the bass line. That'll help a lot. This like needs auto panning, so it's not like completely getting in the way of every other instrument. So looks like I got like about a minute left. So we're gonna go ahead and throw a series of plugins on the master to hide the fact that I didn't process these sounds and make things sound super nice and clean, right? So this is kind of like a fake master. It's not fake. I mean, I'm just gonna be a master, but it's not gonna be as nice as it should be. It's gonna make my song sound better. It's gonna make me a cooler producer. So we have, I should probably talk about what I'm doing. We have a de-esser on our air, like super, super high frequencies. I don't know if this works with every de-esser, but the alloy one causes this everything directly underneath to become more present. So it looks like I'm ducking my high frequencies. I'm actually making them brighter. Going to use a preset for a tape machine because, whoa, that's awful. Holy crap. I don't think you guys heard that. I hope you didn't hear that because that was intense. Holy crap. Ow. I don't have ears anymore. All right. I'm cheating. I'm going to put a regular Ableton limiter at the end since I missed some of my tools here. So we'll crank that up a bit. I mean, look, I'm already basically clipping my master. So we just need to go through here and highlight everything, turn it all down. All right. I'm not going to lie. I'm not super happy with how far I made it. I thought I was going to finish the entire dang song, but it turns out managing a stream and also creating a piece of music at the same time, it's not easy. So we'll get better at it as I go. But let me play this all back for you so we can get a cool idea. Where did I go again? Why does this happen? It's okay. So I can give you an idea of, you know, what we were able to accomplish today. Hopefully you guys learned something or at least, you know, found this entertaining. So yeah, I'll play this back for you real quick here and then we'll probably say goodbye. So there we are. This is our little piece of music. I like it. It's not bad. It's kind of enjoyable, right? It feels good. Like how could you not enjoy that? It just makes me want to sit down on a couch and relax. So yeah, don't forget 343 Labs is not just a YouTube channel, although it is also a YouTube channel. So please like, comment, subscribe, join, click the bell, share, save it, add it to a playlist. I mean, dislike it if you hated the video too. 10th thing. So don't forget, we have a giveaway going. It's a pro session of your choice, so definitely do that one. Michael Black says 1 minute. Man, the timer ran out already. I missed it. I didn't quite finish. It's okay. Yeah, I was Icarus Moth. What's your Instagram? It's just at Icarus Moth, Enigmatic Onion. Should be easy to find me. I've got a picture of my face on there, so should be good to go. Feel good tune. Yeah, I'm glad that we're on the same page there. So yeah, that one was a little bit more, you know, laid back, a little bit more interesting as far as, you know, maybe not having any sort of direct topic that we were focused on, but it's important to be able to see, you know, some of the process there. So yeah, I think that's where I want to leave you. If you're interested in joining our classes, we do online and in person in New York and Berlin. So, you know, check out our website, see what we have coming up. Shoot us an email. We'll be happy to place you. I teach a lot of those classes, so maybe you'll see me here. I've definitely caught a couple of you guys from the streams in other locations, other things we do here at 343. So I love to see you guys interfacing with us in that way. So yeah, I think without further ado, this is where I'm gonna let you guys go. I will, you know, hang out in the chat, leave it running for a little bit, answer some questions if you have any. But as always, it was good hanging out, and I will catch you next time.